You know what the harsh truth is? Most people don't realize they're being used until it's too late. Manipulators don't walk in with a sign saying, "Hey, I'm here to control you." No, they creep in quietly. They disguise it as friendship, love, care, loyalty. And before you know it, you're drained, controlled, and questioning your own worth. So let's cut through the noise. Here are 7 signs you're being emotionally manipulated, and if you recognize them, it's time to stop letting people use you. 1. Guilt tripping. Guilt is one of the most dangerous weapons in manipulation because it disguises itself as love, care, or obligation. The manipulator wants you to believe that your boundaries are selfish, your no is cruel, and your independence is betrayal. Every time you say "I can't," they twist it into "you don't care about me." Every time you choose yourself, they act like you've abandoned them. That's not love. That's control wrapped in guilt. Here's the truth. You are not responsible for carrying the emotional weight of grown adults who refuse to manage their own feelings. You do not owe anyone your time, your energy, or your sacrifice just because they know how to pull your heartstrings. Guilt tripping works because it makes good people question themselves. But understand this, your worth is not measured by how much you bend, break, or bleed for someone else's comfort. When you notice guilt being used as a tool, stop right there. Ask yourself, is this request fair, or am I being emotionally blackmailed? If love requires guilt to survive, it's not love, it's control. A healthy bond celebrates your boundaries, it doesn't punish them. So, the next time someone says, "If you loved me, you would," remember this: real love doesn't come with ultimatums. Stand your ground, guilt only controls you when you let it. 2. Silent treatment. Silent treatment is not silence, it's punishment. It's not about cooling off or creating space to think, it's about power. When someone deliberately withholds their words, their affection, their presence, they're not trying to solve a problem, they're trying to control you. They want you to feel anxious, desperate, small enough to crawl back and beg for their attention. This is emotional manipulation at its finest, because it attacks one of our deepest human needs: connection. They know you crave resolution, they know you don't like tension, so they weaponize their silence to break you down until you surrender. But here's the truth: they are not teaching you a lesson, they are feeding their ego at the expense of your peace. A healthy relationship does not need silence as a weapon. Disagreements should be solved with communication, not punishment. If someone refuses to speak to you just to make you chase them, you need to understand this clearly: they are more interested in control than connection. Do not fall for it. Don't beg, don't chase, don't shrink yourself just to earn back what should never have been taken from you in the first place. When silence is used to manipulate, the best response is strength. Keep your dignity. Let them sit in their silence while you walk forward in power. Because attention earned through punishment is not love, it's control. 3. Playing the victim. Have you ever noticed how some people always have a story where they're the one suffering, the one betrayed, the one wronged? It doesn't matter what happens, you are the villain and they are the victim. This is one of the most manipulative tactics of all because it preys on empathy. Good people want to help. Good people want to fix things. And manipulators know that. They twist situations until the spotlight lands on their pain, forcing you to carry the blame and the responsibility for fixing it. Suddenly, every disagreement turns into an attack on them. Every boundary you set becomes abandonment. Every mistake you make becomes proof that you don't care. But here's what you need to understand: people who constantly play the victim are often the ones causing the most damage. They create chaos and then act like the wounded hero who needs saving. It's manipulation disguised as vulnerability. Your empathy is a strength, but it becomes a weakness in the wrong hands. Not everyone who cries is hurting, some are crying to control you. Not everyone who claims to be broken is seeking healing, some are seeking power. So the next time someone always finds a way to be the victim, step back, look at the bigger picture. If they're never accountable, never responsible, never wrong, then the truth is simple: they're not a victim, they're a manipulator in disguise. Don't let their tears blind you to their tactics. 4. Excessive flattery, followed by criticism. This tactic is a psychological trap. It starts with praise so sweet. It makes you feel like you've finally found someone who truly sees you. They shower you with compliments, admiration, attention, until you lower your guard. And then, without warning, they cut you down. They mock you. They belittle your decisions. They criticize the very things they once admired. Why do they do this? Because it creates dependency. That cycle of highs and lows is addictive. You start craving their approval like a drug. You endure the criticism just to feel the rush of their praise again, and in the process, you lose yourself. Understand this: real love does not operate like a roller coaster. Real friendship does not build you up just to tear you down. This push-pull tactic is manipulation. It keeps you off balance so you can be controlled. If someone's approval feels like a prize you have to constantly earn, then it's not real approval, it's bait. They are hooking you into a cycle where your self-worth depends on their shifting mood. Break free from this. You don't need anyone to validate you with temporary flattery followed by cruelty. You need people who are consistent, steady, and supportive. The ones who see your value without turning it into a weapon. Remember, when someone's love feels like a game, it's not love, it's control. 5. Conditional kindness. Pay attention to how people treat you when they have nothing to gain. Because manipulators are experts at kindness, but only when it benefits them. They give you attention, gifts, support, even affection, but it always comes with strings attached. They make you feel indebted. They make you believe you owe them loyalty, silence, sacrifice because of everything they've done for you. That's not generosity. That's a transaction. Conditional kindness is dangerous because it makes you second-guess yourself. You start asking, am I ungrateful? Do I owe them more? Am I selfish for wanting boundaries? This is exactly what they want. They want you trapped in a cycle where their kindness becomes leverage against you. Real kindness doesn't demand repayment. Real love doesn't keep score. If every act of care is followed by an expectation, then it's not kindness, it's control. And you need to call it what it is. Stop feeling guilty for refusing manipulative generosity. Stop apologizing for wanting relationships that are genuine, not transactional. If someone's kindness feels like a contract you never signed, rip it up, because true respect and love are not earned by jumping through hoops or paying invisible debts. They are given freely. If it isn't free, it isn't real. Don't be fooled by kindness that costs you your freedom. 6. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It's when someone deliberately makes you question your own reality, your own memory, your own sanity. You bring up something they said, and they reply, I never said that. You express your feelings, and they say, you're overreacting. You confront them with the truth, and they twist it until you doubt yourself. This is not just lying, it's mind control. Because the more you doubt your memory, the more you depend on theirs, the more you question your judgment, the easier it is for them to control you. Gaslighting makes strong people feel weak, confident people feel confused, and sane people feel crazy. But here's the truth. Your feelings are valid. Your memory is not broken. Your instincts are not wrong. The problem is not you, it's them. Gaslighting thrives when you surrender your reality to someone else's version of the truth. So stop second-guessing yourself. Every time someone denies your experience, write things down. Keep receipts. Trust your gut. If someone consistently makes you feel like you can't trust your own mind, that's not miscommunication, it's manipulation. Never let anyone rewrite your story. Never let anyone convince you that you imagined your own pain. Because the moment you stop believing in your reality, you hand them the keys to control your life. Don't let that happen. 7. Isolation. Isolation is one of the final stages of manipulation, and it's the most dangerous. It doesn't happen all at once. It's gradual. First, they make small comments about your friends. Then they criticize your family. They plant seeds of doubt about the people who love you most. And slowly you start cutting people off, believing that only they truly understand you. Why do they do this? Because the more isolated you are, the easier you are to control. When you have no outside support, no other voices, no one to remind you of your worth, they become your only source of validation, and that is exactly what they want. But here's the truth. Anyone who tries to cut you off from the people who care about you does not love you, they want to own you. Real love encourages connection. Real love celebrates your support system. Manipulation isolates you so they can dominate you. If you notice someone trying to separate you from your friends, your family, your purpose, wake up. That's not protection. That's possession. You were not meant to live in a cage built by someone else's insecurity. Surround yourself with people who expand your world, not shrink it. Anyone who tries to isolate you is not protecting you, they're controlling you. Final words, listen to me carefully. Love doesn't demand your silence. Friendship doesn't drain your spirit. Respect doesn't come at the cost of your freedom. If you recognize these signs, it's time to take back your power, set boundaries, say no, cut ties if you must. Because the truth is simple, if you allow people to use you, they will never stop. Stop letting people manipulate you, stop letting people drain you, and stop letting people define your worth. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. So stand up, speak up, and take back control of your life.